Friday. Yes, I know it's late. It's 8:30 p.m. on the West Coast. So it's gotta be like 10:30, maybe even 11:30 on the East Coast, depends on where you're at, but definitely welcome. And I appreciate you coming in. So tonight, man, tonight program is going to be in regards to my brother, my friend, Weston Jarvis. And I say that with all due respect. He was on a podcast, it's coming up. He was on a podcast called Old Fashioned Masons, Old Fashioned Mason Podcast. And I think they have a YouTube channel, but I don't necessarily have it. And I watched some of the podcasts. You know, they did a little snippet of it, and on the podcast, they mentioned the fact that he was clandestine. And I know y'all hear me talk about this all the time, and I know I said I wasn't going to do it no more. I said it. I said I wasn't going to do it no more. I know. Don't beat me up. Don't beat me up. But I just couldn't go any place or be on anybody's show or topic and you disrespect me like that. I couldn't have done it. I would have had to correct him right then. I would have had to correct. I would have had to do it on the spot. And for that man to call him clandestine in front of his face, like, yeah, you're a clandestine organization. And then he gonna go on and talk about a General Grand Masonic Congress and how many Grand Lodges are a part of it. Man, no. When you are in a position like that, you speak for you're speaking not only for your General Grand Masonic Congress, you are speaking for most of us, really. Let's just be honest. In a position like that, when you have that stage, you're speaking for more than just your particular jurisdiction. You are. So anywhere I go, any place I'm at, I want to be the example of what we who are ancient, free, and accepted Masons, we who, I don't care if it's international, I don't care. I'm a representation of Freemasonry or Freemasons. I'm not going to just sit here on your show and let you say, hey, you know, do your clandestine organization know they're clandestine? What? Just that little snippet really kind of took it up to a whole nother level for me. And like I said, I would never go anywhere where I'm disrespected and not accepted. And I felt like that was disrespectful. I think they had you on there to set you up. That's my personal opinion. I might be wrong. Maybe you thought something else, Brother Jarvis. I don't know. And this is not a knock on you. Let me say this right now for anybody to take this the wrong way. This is not a knock on him. This is clearly to say that that man set him up. That man had him on his show. They was talking, and then he gonna bring out, well, do the people that come in your organization know that you're clandestine? I would have had to press the brakes. I'm just saying me, because I'm not sitting idly by and I'm on somebody's show and you're clandestine. According to who? I always say that. When somebody tell me or any I'm places and people are is at me, and even when I'm on I was on TikTok panels. And the brothers be on it, and you know, the brothers be on there, man. They be like, yeah, you know, you're clandestine. I said, according to who? If it's according to you, then you know what? you fit the same bill. I pass that same buck on to you. But I'm going to be treated with dignity and respect, and I'll give it right back to you. But if you're going to go that route, yeah, I'm not. No, I can't be. So that's just me. A lot of brothers need to go back and need the meaning of, they do. And that's why I couldn't have sat there. I wouldn't have been able just to sit there and just let that roll off his tongue. And he's like, it's innocent. It ain't innocent. How would you like for me to be on your show? And then I haul off and call you, well, you know, you're mainstream Grand Lodge, they clandestine. What? Or whomever, you're whomever. I mean, I just couldn't do it. because I believe in treating people with dignity and respect until I'm mistreated. And when I'm mistreated, then I'm going to mistreat you. I'm not the one to sit here and tell you I'm going to show you some love and respect after you have mistreated me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit here and make any promises or do anything to say, you know what, it's okay. It ain't okay. It is not okay to be mistreated. It is not okay to be on somebody's show or anyone's podcast and be mistreated. That is not okay. No. We'd have sat there. I'd have sat right there and would have had this conversation. But that's me. That's me. No. Because I'd have been like, I would have told him I am the example of a Mason. Now, you may be something else, but I don't know. To sit there and to be able to accept that during this interview. And I've seen about maybe 20, 30 seconds of the interview. And I only seen that because the rest of the podcast doesn't come on until December the 8th. It's called Old Fashioned. My thing is that I just couldn't have, from the little bit I seen, I just feel that was just disrespectful for this man and what he's done as far as for his jurisdiction, where he's been as a Mason, the whole thing. No, I know Jarvis. I know he's traveled outside the country as a Mason. He's received different honors from various Masonic organizations and groups. Man, with all of that, no, bruh. Bruh, nope. I'd have to just light into his ass. I would have, that's me. I wouldn't have been able to do it. So this is what I did. I reached out to old-fashioned Masons, and I was like, I'd like to come on. I'm that dude. I would like to come on to that podcast and we can have that conversation. We can honestly have that conversation. Because on there, they got this big, they have Jarvis in his regalia, and then they're going to put Clandestine Mason beside his name on their podcast. I'm like, oh, no. That is so freaking disrespectful. Man, that is dishonorable and it's disrespectful. Free Palestine. I can't free somebody. I don't have them in any type of bondage. I get what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but man, I'm gonna free the black man before I free anybody else. I'm just like, that's me. It's just me. I can't help nobody until I get the help I need. And then I can do what I got to do for somebody else. But with that being said, I hope that you undo. I hope that you're well. Somebody made my means hoping mad. Somebody made my man mad. You know, it's not that I'm mad, man. I just don't like the disrespect of a brother or a sister. I believe that wherever you should go, you should be treated with dignity and respect. Now, if you're not going to give it, then I see it. I can work with it. But to go on someone else's podcast and put up in a situation like that, I just disagree with it. I just totally disagree with it, because anytime you're on a world stage or anytime you're traveling anywhere, I'm the example of a Mason. Period. That's how I'm going to carry myself. I represent my Grand Lodge. Yes, I do. I represent John G. Jones Grand Lodge of California, Ancient Fear and Accepted Masons, wherever I go. I'm a representation of that Grand Lodge. But in addition to that, I represent a whole nother slew of people that I don't even know, but I represent them because of where I'm at and what I'm doing. You know? Dan the Fisherman. I have many for sale. I'm just saying, you know. But sir, you're unrich. You know, I just think anytime a person is given a platform to be the example and to express the honor of what it is to be a Mason, they should do that unmolested by someone else trying to belittle them or trying to put them in a corner or a box. No, I've traveled too many places. I've been with too many individuals who are Masons and have treated me with dignity and respect for me to be on a podcast and to be mistreated or to be misrepresented. No. Black Soul Entertainment Go, what's going on? I wouldn't do that, because here's what I do know. Although I'm non-mainstream and I'm non-Prince Hall, I'm a Mason. Period. You can cut it up any way you want to cut it. I'm a Mason, and I say that proudly, and I say it because I have learned to enjoy the craft. I've traveled as a Mason, so anything you have to say is none. It doesn't even matter. But I'm not going to do that to myself, and you shouldn't do it either. If you're watching this, never put yourself in a position to be disrespected in such a way it's on a national stage, because you're gonna have to stand up for yourself. You're gonna have to make some corrections right then. Don't wait till tomorrow. You make that connection right then. When someone is disrespecting you like that, you make that correction right then. Because if they did it then, imagine what they're going to continue to do. No. So like I said before, I reached out to that podcast and I was like, hey, I'd like to be interviewed if you don't mind, or you can come here. You can come here and I can interview you and talk to you. And then have me to call you clandestine. How would you like that? I'm just saying. How would you like for me to say, well, your members can't come visit me and everybody doesn't see you as a regular Mason. You're a clandestine over here. I mean, how? I just don't get it. I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to put my hands on it, but to actually do that and to see a brother and as a well decorated Mason as Jarvis is, to be put in that position, no. And maybe he just wanted to show some decorum. Maybe he did, but I wouldn't have. Me personally, I wouldn't have been able to show him in a decorum. Once you went that road, once you went down that road, all decorum is out the door. All being civil in the conversation, it's a wrap. Because shots was fired. That's me. Shots are fired. I'm good. OG Classic Jones. Looks like I came in at the right time. I was having a similar conversation just the other day. As a new brother, this is a topic that I have been waiting to hear. Yeah, absolutely. Let me tell you this here. I don't care regarding the jurisdiction. This is what, as a Mason, I care that you represent the principles and the philosophy and that you've gone through the ritualistic ceremonies of becoming a Mason in someone else's lodge or Grand Lodge. Whether I recognize that Grand Lodge or not, did you go through the process, in the process of being initiated, passed, and raised? If your lodge took you through that process and your Grand Lodge has granted that lodge its charter and given it this rights and privilege to operate as a Masonic lodge, that's what you are. Stop cutting yourself short. Stop putting yourself in a box. I'm never going to put myself in a box. I'm not going to do that to me. Not to me. I'm not going to put myself in a box. So wherever I go and you see that compass and square on the hat, I'm a Mason. And I don't know about most people. Some people like to do some other stuff, but that's what I am. That's what I represent. And that's how I definitely carry myself. So for anybody to come up, even on here, when I first started doing this, I used to get it all the time. You're clandestine. Okay, you can say that, but according to who? You don't stop me from enjoying the craft. You don't do that. No, you don't do that. You can talk about it, but I'm gonna be about it. And the thing about being about it is really is really being involved. You know, somebody asked me the other day, is Masonry a charity organization? They participate in charity, but in its essence, no. Masonry is not a charitable organization. They participate in charity, but they're not a charity organization. They're not. No. Masonry is really built on taking care of its own. Let the truth be told, when you look at the obligation or vow, whatever you want to call it, it's about taking care of your own. It's about taking care of those that you have bonded with. But we have extended the olive branch to make donations and the scholarship funds and to do other things. We have. When I say we, I'm speaking in Masonry in general, with a broad brush, who have made contributions and donations to family in various places and put kids in college and pay for their books. I know a variety of Grand Lodges that have done that. Brother Jones, do 33rd Masons marry young boys? No. Brendan Hall. That's a H-A-double-L-L, no. Hell no. Nah, brother Brendan Hall, no, We don't do that. I seen that. I had, nah, brother, no. I don't know where you heard that one at, but I can only say we don't do that here. The question you just asked, we don't do that here, man. Nah, I can't. Oh, you got me rolling. Illuminati, absolutely Illuminati. And what does that mean? You say Illuminati. I'm illuminating light. That's what Illuminati means. You know, but man, it's back to the topic at hand in dealing with my friend Weston Jarvis in this interview that's coming up on December the 8th. It's going to be on Old Fashioned Podcast. And I think they, like I said, I think they have a YouTube, but I wouldn't have done that interview knowing the possibility of being disrespected, and even hypothetically saying that if I went on there and I thought that it was going to be a decent interview, and once he would have mentioned that, I'd have lit his. I would have. I'd been like, what do you mean? He probably came back and said, yeah, you know, you're clandestine. According to who? Well, you know, Prince Hall and mainstream. And who are you? Who are you? That would have been me. Now, I know other people would have said, nah, Brother Hawkins, you know, you need. No, that would have been me. And that's how I do it. You know, nah. No, on a national stage, as a Mason, and especially when you're talking Ancient Free and Accept or any other Masonic organization, as a Mason, I believe on any stage, you represent more than just yourself, or your General Grand Masonic Congress, or your Council of Grand Lodges. You represent more than just yourself. You know, Prince Hall or not at all. Okay. And another thing, you know, when you say Prince Hall or nothing at all, there's no such thing as a Prince Hall Mason. I said that. There's no such thing as a Prince Hall Mason. Prince Hall Grand Lodge is where you was initiated, passed, and raised a Mason within a chartered lodge under the Prince Hall Grand Lodge. But that doesn't make you a Prince Hall Mason. That makes you a Mason. That's what that does. So for any of you who are out there who like to call yourself Masons by the name of your particular Grand Lodge, that is incorrect. It's totally incorrect. You know, and it bothers me. Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and say I knew this all along, that this was some, you know. No, the stuff I know now is not the stuff I knew last year, the year before that. It's based upon my travels. I never went somewhere and met other Masons. They said, well, I'm a Brazilian Mason because I belong to the Grand Lodge Brazilian. They said, I'm a Mason. And they greet you. Hey, brother, how you doing? I met a brother when I was in Albania. The brother said, I'm an Albanian Mason. He didn't come to me and say, I'm a member of the Albania Grand Lodge. But no, I'm a Mason. And that's the thing that you have to reevaluate yourself. You have to change your mind thought. You have to do some inner workings on yourself to understand you're not an international Mason. You're not a John G. Jones Mason. You're not a Prince Hall Mason. You're not even a mainstream Mason. You're just a Mason. If you remember the Grand Lodge of New Jersey, that's just your Grand Lodge. That's where you was made a Mason. But that doesn't make you a New Jersey Mason. Where's this mentality come from? Where you getting your education at? What books are you reading? And when you go in there and say, you are a Prince Hall Mason because you was initiated in a Prince Hall Lodge. You are a John G. Jones Mason because you was initiated in a John G. Jones Lodge. You're international because you was in it. No. The only thing these Grand Lodges do is charter lodges, which gives that lodge the authority to make you a Mason. That's it. No more, no less. That's all. But for any of us to walk around and put the badge of your Grand Lodge in front of you, that's a Mason, is incorrect. No, Jesus did not start Freemasonry. No, Jesus did not start Freemasonry. Please, Jesus didn't start Freemasonry. Hit the thumbs up button. I know I'm late. It's about maybe, should be like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock on the East Coast, maybe 9 o'clock around this area. It's about 9:15, 9:20 on the West Coast. So it's got to be like 12 o'clock on the East Coast. So welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Everything that is done in darkness will expose when our Lord Jesus come back. Okay. It's nothing new under the sun. So what you going to expose? There's nothing new under the sun. So what is there to expose? Somebody asked me the other day, I'm going to get back on my subject. Someone asked me the other day, they was like, what's the secrets of Masonry? I'm like, there isn't any, unless I talk to a brother and we do what we do. And he looked at me like, oh. I said, you can go buy a book and read it. I'm not going to stop you. You can go buy any book you want to and get all the grips, the signs, the words. You can do that. That doesn't bother me. But see, you first have to go through the ritualistic ceremonies to understand what it is to be a Mason. And first of all, your first thought is that it's in your heart. Okay? It starts there first. And if it's not here, it ain't going to be no place else because you're just doing it just to do it. Period. The people are in a fallen state. A lot of exposed. If you consider people being in a fallen state and there's a lot to expose, well, there probably is. It probably is, Isn't that what Cat Williams said? But what is there to expose? I mean, because when you look around, if for any other organization, let's say this here, for those of us who go to church, do you think it's right for me, who's not a member of your church, to come in and say, I want to see your books. How much money did you take in this month? Do you think I have a right to do that? And I'm not a member of your church, but I'm a Christian. Do you think I have a right to do it? That's how it is as a Mason. I don't have a right to go to somebody else's lodge and to proclaim or to do anything other than to sit there and visit and enjoy the festivities. The same as it is in church. You're not going to go to someone else's church and visit and then turn around and say anything other than I'm a visitor. That's all you're going to get. I like to welcome everybody into John G. Jones Research Lodge number 147. It doesn't matter what jurisdiction you're in. We want to show dignity and respect to all Masonic jurisdiction. If you would like to call in tonight, you're certainly welcome to do so. You can call in. I'm going to give this number out. 619-286-0642 if you want to call in. One more time, that number is 619-286-0642. We'll take on your question tonight. Welcome, brother AJ, out of Mississippi, Kingham, Grand Lodge in Mississippi. Welcome. I hope everything is well with you. Do 33rd Freemasons represent Jesus, son? No. 33rd Freemasons do not represent Jesus at all. Brandon Hall, people try to make correlations or connect some dots to that, but that's really kind of pushing it a little bit, you know. There is some validity to that, but it's really kind of pushing that thing together. That's real touchy. Get healed. I'm not sick. I haven't been sick in a long time. I had the flu last year. I went to the doctor and they did a good job in helping me to get healed. So that was the last time I ever needed to get healed, brother. So D Crawford Senior, you know, welcome. I appreciate you stopping by and really having a good conversation. If you want to call in, D, you're certainly welcome to call in. And maybe, you know, I think you're here because you're going to learn something tonight. And if you're not here for that and you being a troll, well, welcome anyway. Welcome anyway. You need to be redeemed by the blood of Jesus. Is that symbolism you're talking about when you say need to be redeemed by the blood of Jesus? Cliff, is that a symbolism thing you're talking about? Or is it a real thing? Is it symbolism or is it real? Because in order to be a Christian, you know you got to go through a ritual. Clifford, right? In order to be a Christian, you got to go through a ritual, right? I'm just saying. Being baptized, that's a ritual. Going to church, taking on the right hand fellowship. You know what I mean? If you're African American, you know exactly what I mean. Come on now, talk back to me. All of that is ritualistic. 30 seconds tell you something that should change your mind about the jurisdiction. Like what? What should a 30-second tell you something that should change your mind about a jurisdiction? You know, what is it? Praying is a ritual as well. Absolutely, praying is a ritual. So everything we do, including going to church and doing all that, it's a ritual. You know, so there are ritual things around us all the time. Symbolism is a language. When you understand the symbolism, you can speak the language. So we can, I mean, you know, no disrespect to the brother who talks about Jesus and his blood, and it's all good. Repent, follow the teachings of Jesus, and you will have eternal life. Okay. All right. Okay. At some point, the world or words unite and all comes up. Symbolism and signs are for the conscious mind. It is. OG, you're absolutely right. It is for the conscious mind. And for those who don't understand that, they won't be able to see it and understand it. And that is one of the uniqueness of being a Mason. One who studies and understands it, not the one who likes to go to the barbecues, not the one who always showing up at the dinners, not that Mason. I'm talking about that Mason who has a library, several different books, who are understanding and reading and indulging in the symbolism and understanding the language of Freemasonry. That guy is different. That Mason is different than any other Mason. That's the brother you need to be around, okay? Is that brother. So getting back to my brother Weston Jarvis, he's that type of dude. I've actually had the opportunity to sit with this brother and talk with him. He's that dude. He can speak that language with you. But in this particular interview that he did, I think they did him some disservice. I really do. So, with that being said, it's just, you know what? Let's go on to something else. I'm going to go into something else real quick. What's the number I will call? The number is 619-286-0642 is the number if you want to call in. And I'm going to tell you this. If you're going to call in and be disrespectful and clandestine and bogus and all of that, I'm hanging up on you. So if you're going to do that, don't call. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not. If you're going to be respectful and we're going to have a decent conversation, then that's different. I think that may be you. Greetings. Hello, who am I speaking with?
Brother Crawford. Hello, who am I speaking with?
Yeah, you probably turn on whatever you got in the background. Turn it down just a little bit.
This is Brother Crawford.
All right, talk to me.
Yes, sir. I'm not gonna be disrespectful, but why you feel I've been bamboozled by Prince Hall?
I didn't say you was bamboozled by Prince Hall. I never said that. I never said that.
Okay.
I never said anyone was bamboozled by Prince Hall. I said what I did say is that if you are a Prince Hall Mason, quote unquote, the thing is most people put their name to their Grand Lodge. Like you said, I'm a Prince Hall Mason. And I disagree with that. I don't think you're a Prince Hall Mason. I think you're a Mason, period. Prince Hall is where you got initiated at, raised and passed under their Masonic jurisdiction.
I was initiated, raised and passed under 4 letter out of Maryland.
Okay, but right now your oath and obligation holds you and binds you to the jurisdiction for which you are a part of right now. And that's Prince Hall. You're binded to that jurisdiction because I'm quite sure when you went there, I'm quite sure they said, well, you know what? You can no longer have a Masonic relationship with those individuals that you was a part of. You can't go visit them. You can't talk to them Masonically. You can't do any of that.
Well, that's the OB. That's not what they told me. That's the OB.
But I'm just saying, in my OB, it strictly says that until I found him or them as worthy and well qualified as I am myself, then upon that judgment, I can consider that guy a brother of the craft, a Mason. I can talk with him in reference to Freemasonry because I found him worthy and well qualified as I am myself. It says a little bit more too, but it specifically says that in regards to my individual journey as a Mason. So when I see an individual who's a Mason and he says, well, I'm an international Mason, I said, nah, what shit is that? You a Mason. You came through international. International, what made you a Mason? Okay, through their Grand Lodge, which chartered their Blue Lodge, for which you now are a member in, and that's where you became a Mason at. And so that's me. Now you may say, no, dude, I'm a Prince Hall Mason, and that's okay. I just find that when I travel and I go outside of the boundaries of this country, it's none of that. It's absolutely none of that. So I had to change my mind. I had to change my mindset. I had to rethink some things in my head. Like, damn, that is right. Nobody I went and I spoke with ever said, I'm a French Mason. I'm from Albania, so I'm an Albanian Mason. Or I'm from Brazil, I'm a Brazilian Mason. No, they said I'm a Mason. Hey, brother Tony, how you doing? Oh, he's a member of John G. Jones Grand Lodge out of California. He's here visiting at this particular conference. Oh, okay. But that was about it. It was none of that. So when I greet someone, I'm not going to greet you because of what Grand Lodge you're from. I'm going to greet you based upon the verbiage that we have exchanged. Period. It's out of respect. Now, if you tell me, well, you know what, I can't recognize you, that's fine. That's perfectly okay. But I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to call you out. I'm not going to do any of that.
Say regular Masons, right?
Huh?
I said there's no disrespect, but in my OB it says regular Mason.
Okay, it says regular Mason. So what's a regular Mason?
Lineage. So
is lineage truly a regular Mason? And I'm gonna go somewhere with this. And I'm gonna tell you the reason I'm asking. Because I have the articles in regards to the letter that John T. Hilton wrote. I have that article where he said, you know what? We are independent. We are now severing our ties with England. I have that letter. So when you tell me that you're severing your ties with me, that means you have no contact with me. That's it. So anything I got from you, I need to send it back to you because you know what? We done. And
why was that though? Why was the separation?
Because what happened is that there was no communication between the Lodge 459. There was no communication with that particular lodge and the Grand Lodge, which gave its charter, which issued its charter. There was no communication. So they said, you know what? We ain't heard from you guys. And as a matter of fact, I can get that whole thing and I'll send it to you. As a matter of fact, you can call me back afterwards. Give me your cell number. As a matter of fact, you call me back, I'll give you my cell number and I'll text you the letter itself. I'll email it or text it to you so you can read it for yourself. I ain't got a lot of you. I'm just saying it's there. Okay. And then you can read it and then you can come to your own conclusion about it. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what I tell anybody. You know, if I got some information for you, read it, come to your own conclusion. If we come to two totally different conclusions upon which we read, I'm okay with that too. Mm-hmm. You know, because my thing is not to tear someone down so I can look bad. I'm not gonna tear you down and be like, yeah, you see, he ain't about shit. No. We already in a fucked up situation. Period. Mm-hmm. So why should I look at you and say, oh, that's a Prince Hall brother. He ain't about shit, man. I wouldn't even fuck with him. What type? Tell me what type, what that look like.
Okay. I'm gonna send you my email. I'm gonna get off here now.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you my email.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good brother. Yes,
all right. Okay. So that would be me. I mean, appreciate the call, brother. But my thing is, as a Mason and as a man, and especially a black man, I am not going to disrespect you in front of anybody else and call you all sorts of names. I am not going to do that. I am not going to do that because you're already behind the 8 ball. Okay? I'm going to say this again. For any black Mason, period, I am not going to disrespect you in front of someone to make me try to look better than you. When I know that we as a people, we as men, period, are already behind the 8 ball. And for me to kind of bring you down in front of somebody else because I want to look good, I want to make them, I ain't gonna do that. No, I'm not gonna do that. I don't care who they are. No, too many times we find ourselves in situations, circumstances to where somebody's already got your foot on their neck. And then for me as a black man to put my foot on your neck too, because I want to look good in front of somebody else, I'm not going to do that. I've been in too many social media groups to where I've seen that same mentality come about. Who let him in? He clandestine. He's this. Well, you know what? As I said before, You go to the same churches, the same clubs, the same VFW, the same American Legion, the same this and that. You ain't outside in somebody else's community holding up the Masonic sign or saying look or whatever. You ain't doing that. You're only doing that where you're at in your community. And most of us who are African Americans are doing that in the African American community per se. And I only say that only because where I live in California, there is no definite black community where you can say, oh, it's 80, 90% black over here. It ain't that way here. It may be that where you're at, but here is not. It is so freaking diverse. I mean, whether it be Somalian, Mexican, Latinos, whether it's people who are from Portugal, whether it is just so freaking diverse, it's unreal. Where I live is, none of that. Now, if you go to LA, if you're in LA, there's some place in LA, yeah, it ain't nothing but us. You know? Oh, yeah, for sure. You know? Compton. Yeah. And here's the weirdest thing about when you say Compton, here's the weirdest thing. You can be in Compton and be in one of the most beautiful areas. And I mean, look, when people talk about Compton, they think look, there's places in Compton, man, it's beautiful. The houses are nice. The grass is trimmed. It's beautiful. It's like 5 or 6 blocks. 8 blocks, man, you'd be like, wow, no bars on the windows, cars are parked out. It's beautiful. And you go another 2 blocks down and you're still in Compton, you'd be like, what the heck? Man, you roll your windows up. You want to make sure you got you strapped, you this and you that. If that's the way it is. In LA, it's like that. I'm telling you. Even when you in Burbank or even when you in Baldwin Hills, man, they got them spots. You roll through, you be like, oh no, partner. Nope, wrong place. The secret that Masons keep is that they don't want you to know who is the Egyptian god Amun-Ra. What? Nah. Nope. You're absolutely wrong. But if that's something you want to believe, that's fine with me. Absolutely, that's fine with me. I'm late on the live. What's happening to Western Jarvis? I would say this. Brother Jarvis was doing an interview on a podcast called the Old Fashioned Mason. And they called him clandestine on there. I wouldn't have allowed myself to be put in that position as far as being disrespected that way. And even if I would have been on that podcast and he would have said that, no, we would have had some words. That means I would have said the same thing in regards to him. Oh, okay, you consider me clandestine? The same to you. It ain't, if you gonna call me that, I'm gonna call you that. I'm telling you, I'm not the one to turn the other cheek. So many of us, oh man, just forgive, just turn the other cheek. No, if I turn the other cheek, you're gonna hit me. I'm not. Too many times you keep turning the other cheek and people still keep popping you. Nope. That don't get you nowhere. Puts you in the hospital. You can get hurt turning the other cheek. Nope, not doing it. You better read the writings on the wall in Compton. Man, oh yeah. Inglewood and Long Beach. I mean, I've come through Long Beach and over off of Willow Street, man, and I'm like, this is nice over here. This is nice. Close to downtown Long Beach is beautiful. I'm like chilling, and then you go up a few more blocks, you be like, ho. Ooh, this is not good. It is not good. And I don't know why it's like that, but it is like that. Is the podcast already on? No, it's not. The podcast will be coming on December the 8th, if I'm not mistaken, December the 8th, and it's called Old Fashioned Masons. And I think they have a YouTube channel, but I don't know the name of the YouTube channel. I don't. I personally, just from the little snippet that they gave, And when he asked Jarvis that question, I would have been like, dude, you tripping. Really? That would have been me, because that's a stage. I mean, I don't know how many followers this gentleman may have, who's over the podcast. I don't know, but that's a big stage to be on and not be able to defend the very people that you're representing. Although you are a part of the Grand Lodge, his Grand Lodge is out of Arizona. Although you may represent your Grand Lodge, but you represent something more than just your Grand Lodge. And I'm not saying that we all got to get along, but I do know that you represent more than just your Grand Lodge. You absolutely do. I know I do. You know, so when I go places and I tell people what's the name of my Grand Lodge and all of that stuff, I know that I represent more than just that. That's me. You know, did Jarvis handle the situation how a Mason should have handled that? Well, I'm going to tell you, I can't speak for everybody. I'm only speaking for me, okay? If I was in that situation and that person would have brought that up to me and said, in so many words, when individuals join your lodge, do they know they clandestine? Me personally, I would have said, pump your brakes. And I am not that. I would have said, I am not that. Are you? Well, what do you mean? So are you clandestine? No, I'm not. I'm regular. I'm a part of mainstream. You know what that means? What does that mean? Just because you're part of mainstream or any other Grand Lodge, what does that mean? Because I'm not going to just sit idly by and do that. No. That's the same thing when John Harrison was on another podcast. They did him the same way. They disrespected him the same way. They held up the sign, clandestine. I'm like, no. You know, do I agree with everything that comes across in dealing with PHA? No, but I'm not going to sit idly by and just let somebody just dog them out. They may do that for me, but I'm not that dude. No. Nope, I'm not that dude. Let me see, I'm going to view this message real quick. Yeah, I understood why they put that up. You know, my question is, if he was invited on the podcast as a guest, don't they already know his affiliation? They do. I'm quite sure they do know his affiliation. But even if you know my affiliation, you invite me on, I'm looking to be treated with dignity and respect, because I'm on your show and I'm going to treat you as you would like to be treated, because I want to be treated the same way. Period. You know, if I invite someone to my house, I'm going to treat them with dignity and respect. If you invite me to your house, there's dignity and respect that should be honored between those two individuals or those families who are sitting at the table having a conversation. I like the way you put that out there, man. I'm about to start using that one. Clandestine. A teen, T-E-E. That's a good one right there. That's a real good one. Greetings, everybody. If you're just coming in tonight, I certainly appreciate it. Your mother is the real wishful master Mason. Well, you know what? If you say that, that's okay. I see it. I see where it says T-E-E-N, not T-Y-N-E. But yeah, certainly if you believe that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with saying that at all, because that's the first person that's going to teach you coming out of the womb. She is. She can raise a nation. She can. Absolutely. There's more than one way to pronounce that word. What's up, Island Knight? How you doing? Appreciate y'all coming in tonight. Please hit the like button. Even if you want to sing your own lodge or shout out tonight, certainly do that. I appreciate those who are up, coming on, and just really hanging out with me tonight. Please subscribe to the channel. I certainly would appreciate it. On this particular channel, we talk about a variety of different subject matters and topics. So we do that because you know what? So many things are talked about in regards to Freemasonry. Nobody really wants to be honest about it. Let's have an honest conversation. Let's do that part, you know? And I think, I don't know if it embarrassed him or not. I can't say whether it did or didn't, but for me to hear that and to see that, it bothered me only because I get tired of hearing the rhetoric. And then to say all we want to do is be left alone, what they got to do with anything? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sound like Michael Jackson, please just leave me alone. No, ain't nobody gonna leave you alone. No. You have to understand that people are out to actually shut your organization down. Let's be clear about that. There are individuals out here or other Masonic organizations that are interested in shutting you down. They're not going to leave you alone. They're not. They got a whole page set up for you. They ain't gonna leave you alone. It's just what it is. Why is the 33rd the most covenant number? It's not. The 33rd is not the most covenant number. It's not. It's 360. That's a covenant number. What's up, William? How you doing? Oh man, just getting it in tonight. Just getting in, having a conversation in regards to the old-fashioned podcast. In the conversation that they're having with Brother Weston Jarvis, and I was just, from the snippet that I seen and heard, I'm just voicing my opinion in regards to them and how they came at him with being clandestine, and with his response, I was like, I would have wanted to fire off and go at it a whole nother way. His response was something different than the way I would have responded, but that's on him. And maybe he knew something I don't know. But the whole thing that I watched, I would have been like, no, oh hell no. We let's go down this road. Let's travel down this road. You know, that would have been me. The Masons are a GMC. You said, what are the Masons about? They're about building up the next man. And when I say building him up, not just from it's from a spiritual point of view, it's from a mental point of view, of building that man up, of character and integrity. So we who are Masons, we're supposed to, and I'm not saying everybody, we're supposed to hold that person who comes through those doors. We're supposed to actually put a bug in their ear. When I say that, that means that when I see you tripping and falling, I'm supposed to be able to be there to hold you up from falling. So the Masons is a brotherhood of men. You know, they say, oh, we're built to help good men become better men. No, we're built to help men become Masons. And Masons are builders of men in spiritual and also in character. That's what Masons, that's who Masons are. They are one who studies philosophy. They are ones who go in and really begins to illuminate and enlighten themselves on knowledge and understanding and truth. See, I know a lot of us like to have parties and barbecues and do those. There's nothing wrong with that. But one who indulges his mind with useful knowledge is one who's going to find that which is lost. He's going to be that guy. And then once he finds that which he's seeking for, he's going to be able to apply that. So when he becomes an old man, he can reflect upon a well-spent life. That's what that masonry is all about. What is the 90th degree Mason? He's a 90th degree Mason, or one who is in the Memphis Mizram. That type of Mason really indulges himself in the esoteric side of Masonry, understanding the symbolism and what it actually teaches, and how he can explore that and then be able to illuminate other brothers on that level. When you're talking the 90th and 95th and 90th, well, not the 96, but those different types of degrees, and that's what they do, because they are different than the other degrees that one may obtain. These degrees of the 45th and those 47 and all of those degrees are more of a esoteric journey into understanding that which you don't get in the previous degrees. That's my opinion based upon what I know in the books I've read. That's where I'm at. It's likely they misunderstood the meaning of the black and white Masonic pavement. Well, some people do. A lot of brothers who become Masons don't really occupy their minds with useful knowledge. They don't. So therefore, what they do is they learn the rhetoric, they learn the book, they learn the Q&A, they go through that and they learn it, and they can spit it off, and they maybe even break it down. They do that, but they don't indulge themselves into the wording that comes out of there. They said, from which you come, and what do you come here to do? I assume you are a Mason. See, that and alone opens up a whole nother conversation. You know, have you ever talked to Brother Chris Jackson lately? Yeah. Oh, Brother Chris Jackson is doing well. As a matter of fact, I talked to him about a couple of weeks ago. No, it's been a little bit longer than that, but we got each other numbers and we call just to say hi sometimes, you know? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I think I want to have him back on, you know? He's a good brother to hang around, very knowledgeable brother. You know, we can agree to disagree on some things, but Chris is a dude. I mean, he's that dude. He is. So I'm not a Mason. Do I have to do what? No, okay. I am leaving. Do not. Okay. All right. You're not a Mason and you're leaving. Okay, whatever all that is. I think that's Zerman. I think I see ZAMAN. I could be wrong, and I apologize if I am. What's going on, Jay? Oh, okay. There's a book. I'm gonna have to go get my cipher. Hold on. Hold on just a second. It's funny you asked about the ciphers. This is a good ciphers right here. I like this particular cipher because you wouldn't know. It has no words on it. This is a good cipher to have. And this cipher here, I'm gonna tell you. This cipher right here comes from Allen Publishing Company out of Richmond, Virginia. Okay. This cipher right here is a good cipher to have. This is the King Solomon cipher, you know, and King Solomon and his fellows. This cipher right here. This is a good cipher to have. It's a good cipher. That's the cipher I would recommend. I would stick with Clyde in the Pentagon. I don't know. Old Fashioned Masonic Podcast is the show. Yes, it is. Oh, no problem, Jay. But yeah, this is a good cipher to have. I like it. I've left it laying down, and people pick it up, and it's that book. It's that one right here. Yeah, I like that cipher. You know, it's a good cipher to have. But anyway, you know, I've been on here for an hour. If anybody want to call in while I'm up, you can call in right now if you want to. And you got questions you want to ask. The call in number is 619-286-0642. If you want to call the show right now, it's open conversation right now. 619-286-0642. You can call in. Why the number 360? It's a complete number. It's a complete circle. To answer what you just asked, why 360? It's complete. It's complete. That's why. So once again, I hope everybody's having a 369. Okay. Somebody put 369 up there. All right. I don't know too much about 369, but I know about 360. So if you want to enlighten me on the 369, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I don't shy away from learning new things and accepting something that I didn't know before. 350, 357. I know about that. I also know about the 753. Oh yeah, 753. 753. Absolutely. I know about the 5, the 7, and the 3. 573. I know about that. Those numbers, when you say 357, so each, I'm gonna share this with you. So in the apprentice degree work, you're working with, I'm going to tell you what you're working with. You're working with 753. Apprentice, you're working with 753. Now, when you come to the fellowcraft, that's going to be 5, 7. No, it's going to be 537. Okay? Fellowcraft. No, my apologies. I apologize. It's 357 because that's where you learn that at in the fellowcraft degree. And then when you get the Master Mason degree, it's totally something different. So my apologies if that was totally on me. That was totally incorrect in me giving you that information. I apologize. Some things will be blocked automatically. I've heard that too, Brendan Hall, the woman master, the compass, and the square. I've heard that too. It's interesting. You can go down that rabbit hole, you get stuck. For sure. I am traveling west. I am. That's how you asked me a question. I gave you an answer. That's the truth. And I don't even know if you're a Mason or not. From the East. Oh, boy. What else you got for me, Richard? Yeah. See, I'm not that guy. You know, people be like, oh, you know, he actually answering the question. Yeah. Why not? You really want to know what's in the north? Here's what's in the north, all right? In the northeast corner of the lodge, if you don't know, you're going to know now, is the heart of King Solomon. Now, I know that's going to be hard for some people to believe because it's going to be like, no, man, you crazy. How you figure that out? How you figure his heart is over there? I know because of some rituals that I have, some ritual books I have. They tell you what's in the north. Woman and working tools. What was in the north? That's the okay. So I know where you're going, and when you say there's no light is in the north, it's the northeast corner. It's the northeast corner is where it's placed, and that is the heart of King Solomon. Now you're not going to find that out until you get into the appending degrees, because if you know anything about the first 3 degrees, they tell you that how his body was cut and what was done to him as he was being killed by the ruffians. And so if you have the ritual, you can read it for yourself. It's public information. In that as you go into it, then as you move into the appending bodies, it's going to tell you what happens and what's buried in the north. It's where were you made, not what. Oh, okay. You're right. It depends on where you're at in the meeting. What were you made? Of course, well, I was made a mason by my wishful master. That's what I was made. Let's see. The 4 wise men in the north. Oh yeah, from left to right. Let me see. I think he meant what year? I'm not sure if he meant what year or not. I'm gonna be honest with you. So do I worship Lucifer? Yes, I worship Lucifer. The great and morning star. Man, y'all need to get off that, because do you even know what that is when you say that? Lucifer is the great and morning star. And the reason they say that is because that lets you know that right there early in the morning, it's the brightest star out there. And it's telling you behind me is the sun. That's what it means. So when you see that bright and morning star out there, and it's sprinkling, it's like real bright, and you wondering, wow, that's a bright star. It's letting you know the sun is coming up. So I know where you was going, but that's what it is. Caution is correct. Too many trolls on here, man. Yeah, there's a lot of trolls on here. But see, here's the thing. If you understand the lingo, you can pick up any book you want to. Go. I'll tell people, the experience is the experience is the thing that sets it apart. It's that thing. When I meet people, and I have met people who just read books, on masonry, and they know the lingo better than me, I said, okay, well, how was the experience? What experience? Oh, well, there you go. See, it's an experience you go through. People can talk all the noise they want to. Unless you have experienced it, you wouldn't know. Absolutely, it's all sun worship. I will agree with that. Oh, right. Richard Lewis just putting it out there, huh? Great morning, King. Greetings. The past master trade his G for the sun. Brandon Hall, you're absolutely right. Now, the question is, why did he trade the G for the sun? That's the question. That's the question you have to ask yourself. Why trade the G for the sun? And you got to remember, the G wasn't always there either. But why trade the G for the sun? I always ask why. All allegory, understanding the different levels, physical, emotional, spiritual, mortality. Absolutely. The G is the sun. Okay, if you say so. And if the G was the sun, why remove the G when you become a past master? And then just put the sun there. And also, as a grand officer, especially a grand master, why his apron has just the sun in the center? I'm just asking. Let's see. So what's the difference between Christianity and masonry? Masonry regards no man for his religious belief or his faith. They don't. Or they shouldn't. G means God the Son, but some it means gymnastics. Some it means geometry. That G means a many of things to a many of people who have come through those doors of masonry. That's why the French don't have a VSL on the Bible. I mean, a VSL, not just the Bible, but a VSL, volume of sacred law. What's going on there, Brother Dias? Geometry is another one. Yep. The objective is to become the sun. The objective is to become the sun. That's going to pass a lot of people. That's going to go over a whole lot of people's heads. Because now people are going to say you're blaspheming. And I know you put SU in. The math of the universe is the G. Knowledge. All right. Would someone be wrong for treating masonry as a religion? Yes. You would be absolutely wrong to treat masonry as a religion. Absolutely. Yep. Jay, I agree. I agree. Yeah, I would agree. If you're looking at that from a whole, Jay, I'm going to agree because you can see that from a whole nother level. Absolutely, you can see that from a whole nother level. I should do something on that. I should do something on that, Jay. Yeah. Absolutely. What if they took their obligation on the law and the Constitution? It still is binding. We've had brothers that take their oath or their oath, their vow, whatever you want to call it, on the Constitution. Absolutely, because it's still binding. It is a volume of sacred law. It's the thing that governs your Masonic lodge or your Grand Lodge, whatever. Yes, absolutely. Knowledge is the motion, sharing light of information, whatever it pass. Absolutely. Okay. All right, Jay. I appreciate that. If you're going to email me, listen closely, and here's my email. My email is jgafam@yahoo.com. Again, my email, if you want to email me, Jay, you can hit me up at jgafam@yahoo.com. I'm sitting up on a hill, a low dale. You reading that out of the ritual. Huh, okay. But that's not necessarily correct. I'm just saying. All right. Like Brother Diaz said, he personally don't use the Bible or the Quran. You know? Let's see what else we got in here. Masonry does not contradict Christianity, nor does it tries to. I'm going to say this again. Masonry do not contradict Christianity, nor does it try to. It doesn't try to do that at all. I've heard people say so many different things in regards to it, but it doesn't try to do that. Okay. So you're looking for cowards or eavesdroppers. All right. And like I said, Richard, I don't know if you're a Mason or not, but it seemed like you have a ritual and that's where you're getting your information from, which is cool. I have no qualms with that. Why am I a Mason? I'm a Mason because I enjoy the craft. I enjoy the essence of the brotherhood. I enjoy being around like-minded people who want to see you develop, who want to see you become more than just that person, you know. So that's why I'm a Mason. I want to be around people who want to see me be successful, and I want to see them be successful. And if you're true to the craft, that's what you're going to be doing. That's the coolest thing in the world for you, but you're still learning. I use the Torah. Absolutely. Can you get a token? Yeah, you can get a token. You certainly can get a token. What is the tools? What tools did you find? At what time? What are you asking? I see you saying, what tools did I find? At what time? Okay, Brendan Hall. All right. All right, work with that. Could the G also mean, yes, Genesis? It could. That's why I say the G means so many things to so many different people. Now, when I first gathered information regarding the G, oh, it was geometry. It was God. That when I first, I'm talking about when I first was beginning to shed light unto me regarding the G. That's what it was for me. Absolutely. What books helps a fellow craft understand the craft? I would say the ritual that your Grand Lodge gives you. That would be the #1 book you should get. What's the difference between witchcraft and masonry? I don't know much about witchcraft, but I do know about masonry. So I couldn't tell you because I'll be lying to you. I'm not going to do that. I don't know a lot about witchcraft. I do know that some of the symbolism in witchcraft you can find in Freemasonry. That I do know, but other than that, that I'm just limited in that area. And I may have to go and do some reading on it just to see. How do tools help? Tools, well, depends on what tools are you referring to. What makes a successful lodge? Oh man, you know what makes a successful lodge is that everyone has a say. In order for me, this is my opinion, because in my lodge, everyone has a say. We switch up everything. So at one meeting, I may be the worshipful master. When I come back at the next meeting, the senior warden is going to be the worshipful master. At the next meeting, the junior warden will be we switch up everything so everyone has an opportunity to be in the seat, because one day they will be there. So you're giving them that opportunity, and then you're going to have them to give lectures. So at every meeting, a lecture is given, is passed out to his members, and so they can keep a record of different lectures that they may give. It gives everybody an opportunity to participate and to be heard in the lodge. You don't always have to hear the worshipful master, but you can hear other brothers, so you give them that opportunity. Besides the ritual book, the esoteric side, I enjoy the esoteric side more so than I do anything else. What tools did I use during one of my most trying times? I used the tool of the pickaxe. I used that tool. You practice the Kabbalah. I have that, but I don't really indulge or practice that in particular. No, I don't. I see you say you don't have a felonies either. I wish, let me see, I think I'm gonna go back. Wish I could be a Mason. Breaks my heart. Pennsylvania Grand Lodge rejected me 3 times, and I'm not black either. I'm not black enough for Prince Hall. So what's good? Oh, no, you didn't say that. You didn't say that. You said the Grand Lodge of Pennsylvania rejected you 3 times, and you're not black enough for Prince Hall. Email me. Email me at jgjafam@yahoo.com. Email me. Oh my goodness. I don't believe that. I don't believe. Well, yeah, email me, please. He said, I don't have felonies. I don't know, man. I don't know why would they do something like that. I couldn't tell you. Why are the white lodges doing so much better than the blue lodges? You're going to have to enlighten me on that, Richard Lewis, as far as your language is concerned, when you ask the question, why are the white lodges doing so much better than the blue lodges? Are you saying the black lodges? Because I would tell you this, around most, if not all, Masonic jurisdictions, there are new lodges opening, old lodges are closing, there are lodges that are merging. There's a lot happening. Let me see, what have to be done for that rotation of members to happen? No, you know what? The ideal is who's ever elected the worshipful master of the lodge should look into how to develop the lodge in such a way that members want to come back to the next meeting. It's okay to have your food and to eat and to fellowship. That's great. But you also need to have brothers engage in learning masonry and learning what those tools and how to apply them in a more noble purpose of the working tools, because we talk about them, but how do you apply them spiritually? How do you apply them to help you through your daily journey? And each person who's in that lodge should be able to give a lecture at the end or even during the middle of the lodge meeting. Maybe you want to do 2 or 1, but there should be some interaction to get people involved, engaged in the life of the lodge, instead of just doing barbecues, or maybe we're going to hang out and have a couple of beers or anything like that. No, I need you engaged and to illuminate and to add to your mind. That's what I need to be doing. True, all you got to do is knock on the lodge door, but he had been denied already. So what is good standings? Well, good standing is that, you know, you've been going to your meetings, your Masonic membership dues are paid. Good standings. I mean, you ain't out doing anything crazy, you know. Good standings, you know, that sort of thing. Keep it simple. All right. Thoughts on the hidden hand poses on the black and white photo. Jay, I don't know about that one. I'm gonna be honest with you. What does the above so below means to you? Well, I'm going to go. Boy, that countryness show coming out, huh? All right. So as above, so below. You know how you say the Lord's Prayer? And in the prayer you says, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, as above, so below. Whatever you pray for, whatever you put your energy into, is going to resonate as above, so below. If all you're going to do is hear bang, bang, shoot 'em up, kill, kill, that's what's going to resonate as above and so below. If all you're going to do is you want that peace, you want that joy, that's going to resonate as above, so below. This is why when you are watching the picture of Christ, he's doing this, and he has one hand pointed up and one pointed down. You catch that on the way home. Well, I would say this, between black and white lodges, and I'm going to be honest, a lot of white lodges have endowments, they have more money, they have more resources, plain and simple. I'm going to say this again. A lot of the white lodges have more money and more resources, okay? That's just being honest. Now, that is not to say that black Masonic lodges do not have money and resources. The white ones just have more. And so therefore, if you have more, you can do more. And if you have less, you have to do what you have. That's just the principle of it. That's just what it is. Highly focus on God. It means that this physical realm, yeah, okay, for the fallen angels, meaning that they want to be God here on earth. Okay, I can roll with that. I'm not going to deny that. It can go that way, you know. You a respectful master. You a builder. For real. Thank you for engaging the brothers. Oh, no doubt about it. Absolutely. You know what? What need is it for me to say I'm a this or I'm a that and don't want to engage? Most brothers I've come across, I've heard people say, hey man, tell me about the Masons. Oh brother, you ain't ready. Can't talk to you right now. I'm like, come here, man. Let me holler at you. They be like, wow, man, okay, I appreciate you telling me that. It's like, yeah, why? Why not? you know. I don't know if Jay is a Mason or not. So I have to pay Masons. We have Masonic membership dues that we pay. That's to be honest, we do. We have Masonic membership dues, and they vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. They do. Some pay $25 a month, some pay $20. Some membership fees. Brian, thank you for that in regarding the Baphomet. Do you know the UGLE visit a Prince Hall Lodge early? Yes, I do. I did know that. And that's great. It's absolutely beautiful that they did. It's a great thing. I ain't lying to you. It is. It's beautiful when a foreign Grand Lodge comes to visit your lodge. It's a beautiful thing. There's nothing wrong with it. That's what Masonry is all about. Absolutely nothing at all. I applaud that the fact that members from the Grand Lodge of England was able to come and fellowship. Absolutely, man. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, that old money, man. Look, let's just keep it real. Those Grand Lodges of State have old money. They have properties. Okay? I'm going to say this again. Grand Lodges of State have old money and properties. That is not to say the other Grand Lodges, be it Prince Hall International, anybody else, I'm not saying they don't have money. They don't have old money. And there's a difference. Okay? There's truly a difference. I didn't see your comment when you said my above comment went right over most heads. Oh, yeah. In regards to Baphomet, I believe that's what we was talking about. Can an Illuminati be a Muslim? See, most of you, when you say Illuminati, you're looking at a person or individual. And that's not how it goes. That's what you're looking at. Instead of seeing it from an enlightenment point of view. Because most people say, oh, you're Illuminati. No. It's all about enlightenment. Illuminating. When you turn on your light, it illuminates. And that is what it is, to be a Mason. That is what it is. But I understand the lingo when people say Illuminati. I get that, you know. But that's incorrect though. Absolutely. Hey John, do you believe that there is light within darkness? Absolutely. Yes. Have you ever turned out the lights and it's pitch black and your eyes can adjust and then you can begin to see? You ever did that? I'm from Mississippi. They got a lot of dark roads. I'm pitch black dark roads where you can't see your hand in front of your face. But give it a little time and your eyes will adjust and light will begin to come into your eyes, because you do know that you need, in order to see, you need light to illuminate upon your eyes and you can see a little bit better. I'm just saying. Okay, man, that's great. You know, they need to continue that, man. You know, let me tell you this here. If I'm going to be honest, if I was a Prince Hall brother, right? If I was a Prince Hall Mason and somebody says, oh, the Grand Lodge of England recognizes you as a Mason. You know what? I'm going to visit the Grand Lodge of England. Let's just be honest. There's no need to have Masonic relationships and don't go. There's no need to have it. And that's what I try to do all the time. When my Grand Lodge has visitations and we have Masonic relationship with other Grand Lodges outside of the country, I'm going. I'm going to visit. I'm traveling. I'm got my passport. I'm ready. I'm going. But most brothers don't do that. Save your money and, man, travel outside this country as a Mason and enjoy yourself. That's what that's me. I know, but if you go to Revelation, you'll hear Jesus Christ himself say, I'm the light bearer. Go to Revelations, and you will read that in Revelations. I'm just saying. Because you do know that God is the creator of life and death, or the giver of life and death. And you do know in Scripture says, I create everything. Just saying, I'm just saying. So look, I've been on here for a minute. I certainly appreciate everyone coming on. Do me a favor, hit the like button. If you know that whole, so you are saying Lucifer is the God of the Bible. I didn't say that. I'm just telling you what's in it. I didn't say that. I'm telling you what's in it. It's in Revelations. Absolutely. Read it for yourself. You ain't got to take my word for it. He says the devil has been around same amount of time as God. You know, but what is the devil? What is the devil? What is it? I'll wait. I want to know what is the devil. Of course I do. And I'm not going to put it all out here. I'm not going to do that. Grandmaster, Holy Discourse, Pope in the 5th degree, adversary. So the devil is the adversary, right? So wouldn't that make you the devil? If you're telling me the devil is the adversary of God, wouldn't that make you the devil? Wouldn't it? I'm just saying. And the reason I say that is because the devil don't come at you like you think. He don't come at you with no horns in his head and a tail and a pitchfork. It don't work like that. That's some man's imagination. That's what that is. You know, you want to know what the devil look like? Look in the mirror. If you're not doing the will of God, then you're the adversary. Just saying. That's if you're born again. So you're saying that if I'm born again, I believe the Lord, I believe that Christ is my Lord and Savior. I've been baptized in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. I've been sprinkled. There's so many. Yeah. Okay. So let's just hypothetically say you go that route, right? You still can be the adversary. You still can be the adversary. You know that, right? Just saying. Emmanuel Light, Grand Lodge of Minnesota. Victor Williams, welcome. Hall, the Eternal Light, Grand Lodge of Minnesota. Lodge number 374. Deputy Grand Master David Wicker Jr., Wishful Master. Greetings. How you doing? Hope everything is well with you and your family. So being a Mason is definitely not doing the will of God. You don't think so? You don't think so? Tell me why. Tell me why being a Mason is not doing the will of God. I'm willing to listen. If you want to call in, you can. 619-286-0642 if you want to call in. You're certainly welcome to do so. All will end up being completely controlled by the devil. Once again, I'm going to ask the question. Who is the devil? And somebody said the adversary. Who is the adversary? Who is the adversary? Yes, getting baptized is a ritual itself. Absolutely. He said, Elon can't wait to chip, you know? Oh, man, y'all got me cracking up right now. He said, Elon can't wait to chip. The will of God, oh, man, let me see. He said, the will of God is walking and moving through the love of light and service. That's a good answer. That's a great answer. Absolutely. We said all humans hold the devil inside, some worse than others. Ooh, that's nasty. That is so nasty, but that's truth. That is so true. We also hold God in us. Absolutely. People keep looking for the kingdom of heaven, and the Bible tells you clearly the kingdom of heaven is within. You want to know where hell is at? It's within. If people said, oh, I'm catching hell. I'm living in hell. You keep saying it. You keep saying it over and over, and that's the way you keep living. You know, people dying to get to heaven. I want my heaven now. I want it now. I'm not trying to die to get to heaven. I want it now. I want to enjoy life now. I want to be that now. I want to work while there's light, because when it's dark, you can't do it. So I want it all now. I want to enjoy it now, man. I know a lot of people can't get that. We are our devil, and absolutely. You're absolutely correct. Victor, greetings. Victor Williams, greetings. Yes. All right. The obstacles is the adversary. But that can be you. You can be an adversary. You can be an obstacle for someone who's trying to live a righteous life, or a life or whatever it may be. You can be the adversary. Let's say, hypothetically, somebody uses drugs and you know they're trying to get clean, but yet you go around them every day smoking. Yet you go around them every day drinking, and you know that they're an alcoholic. No, you're an adversary to that person. You are. So yeah, there you go. If you ask these folks what is God, then you get crickets. They crazy. God, devil, both in the mirror. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, explain to me how being a Mason doesn't line up with the scriptures. I'm listening. And if you want to call in, you can do that too. But I'm listening. If tell me, how is it? Tell me that. You're right. Heaven is changing our mindset. Dreadlock. Conversation. Absolutely. Assalamu alaikum. They can't catch the hole in the ground. Man, I'm just catching up. I'm just catching up and reading some of the things that's coming up. Okay, I got to keep that one here. So Jesus is my end. You can get it in your own way. You can get in your own way. Why is that you can't be a Mason if you have a past criminal? It just depends. If you're a pedophile, if you've done pedophilia and you've done all that crazy stuff, man, no, nope, not here. Maybe someplace else, but not here. But if you did some stuff, man, in your life when you was young, and now you're of age, and you got your life together, you went out, you got your job, you got a family, you trying to, yeah. But if you done that pedophilia thing, nah, rape, nah, I'm sorry, it's gonna be tough. I'm just gonna be honest with you, it's gonna be tough. So yeah, that's gonna be tough. Absolutely. You believe in aliens? If Jesus came back, he'll be an alien because he's not of this world. I'm gonna say that again. Jesus came back, you'd be considered an alien because he's not of this world. So yes. John, who is Babylon to you? Oh man. You know what? That's I could be on here for a whole nother 30 minutes talking. I've been on here damn near 2 hours. Man, look, I'm gonna have to go, but dang, that's a good one. You know what? I haven't really given that any thought. But when I think of Babylon, I'm thinking about America. Because America has truly lost her way. Really. America has lost her way. America doesn't have a moral compass anymore. It doesn't. We're fighting for a moral compass. America is Babylon. It doesn't have a moral compass anymore. America is going to fall from within. It's nothing on the outside is going to touch her. It's going to happen from within. What secrets do you think we're keeping from the world? What secrets do you think we're keeping from the world? I mean, give me just a second. Keep rolling. Man, I'm sitting back here in my office. It was getting a little chilly, you know, and it gets a little cold here in California. You know, I think it's gonna probably get down to about maybe 50, 48, 50, below 50 tonight. You know, it's a little chilly. Let's see. I appreciate that. Let's go past Antarctica. Okay. What about it? Hail the eternal light. The Satan energy be filling up the okay, well, yeah. The fact that God and man are one, just have to travel the right path in order to recognize it. That's going to go over a whole lot of people's heads. I'm just saying what you just said is going to go over a whole lot of people's head. And when you say that the fact that God and man are one, man, you can upset a lot of people when you say that. You really could. Do they tell? Well, no. I mean, that's stuff you're going to have to go and research on your own. That's, you know, that's really something you're going to have to go research on your own as far as what's over the wall of ice. I think that's Sean Johnson. You're right. You are right in regards to the Royal Arch. Likeness of their image, right? When you say the occult meaning behind the Masonic logo, the compass and square, the compass and square is not just a Masonic logo. That is for builders. I'm going to say that again. That's for builders. Okay? No, I'm good. You ain't going to get me in no trouble. Hey, look, you ain't going to get me in no trouble whatsoever. Some people may not like the fact that I'm having these conversations as boldly as I'm having, but you're not going to get me in no trouble. So the Masonic square and compass is just that, a square and compass. So what do you do with a square and what do you do with a compass? And when you're able to answer that, then that's what it is. Is Lucifer the great architect? I understand when people keep saying Lucifer, but you have to understand. Go read the Revelations, and I keep saying that because in Revelation is going to shock you because Jesus himself said, "I'm the morning star," and people keep saying and identifying Lucifer with the morning star. I mean, I'm not saying it either way. I just want you to go read it for yourself. Oh yeah, you can do the research on the word occult. What image would this be a great topic for one of your shows? Whose image? That may be interesting. Lucifer meaning light. Okay. Diversity is an occult if you don't know. Okay. How many gods are there in masonry? I don't know how many gods are there in masonry. I don't. I'm going to be honest with you. I've never read anywhere where there was multiple gods in masonry. So for me to answer that question and give you, I'll be lying to you. Although Jesus taught his disciples in private, he also taught the public. He just did it in a different manner. Absolutely. Because he taught two ways. He taught in parables, and you could say he taught esoteric and esoterically. One is for the public and one was for private. He did that. So if you say something is in private, that can also be a secret. So you can say, what was the secret teachings of Jesus? And you do know that there's a book out there, right? That is called The Secret Teachings of Christianity. I think it's The Secret Teachings of Christianity or The Secret Teachings of Jesus. There's a book out there like that. Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. I wasn't for sure. It's crazy how you say it's without saying it. Oh no, I'm gonna go back. I gotta go back. It's crazy how you say it without saying it. Lucifer is not the God of the Bible. You're being deceived. No, I'm not. Who said Lucifer was the God of the Bible? I'm just saying go read it for yourself. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything other than that. And that's the truth. I'm not. When I say go read something for yourself, it's because I want you to do that so you can have a better understanding of what you're saying, or what I'm trying to say. Because if I say it, that's from my own perspective. And you can read the same thing, get two different perspectives. So you can agree to disagree based upon what you read. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. Is that Satan worship? I don't know much about Satan worship. I don't. I really don't. So I can't give you a true objective because I don't. Let me see. You said professor. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that society, Illuminati, was a society for enlightenment and knowledge. And what they did was they ended up joining the Masonic Lodge. Okay. And upon joining the Masonic Lodge, what they wanted to do was infiltrate it and put their information inside of the Masonic organization to be distributed throughout the world. You're right in regards to that. Okay, when you're speaking about the illuminated ones in 1776, absolutely. And then when the brothers figured out what they was trying to do, they end up kicking them out. Yeah. Greetings from Australia. Greetings. It's great to have you aboard. Oh, Saturn. I'm sorry. I had to look at it a little close. I'm sorry. Saturn, like the planet. Look, I'm so sorry about that. Wisdom, strength, and beauty. It is what everyone is made of. Yeah. We're all made of wisdom, strength, and beauty, and we can add a little other stuff in there too, but you're right. Victor Williams, it was under the rights of strict observation. He was a master. Where did that go? He was a master mason. Got desperation to start a lodge called House. I'm trying to see what this says. I want to say Theodore, House of Theodore of the Good Counsel. Well, John Moore, if you say so, if you believe, you say if you are a Mason, you're definitely not worshiping the God of the Bible. Okay, if you say so, absolutely. If you believe that, that's okay to believe. It's really okay. I'm not trying to convince you one way or another. I'm not. I'm going up. I wonder, do people think about the body count of God versus so-called stop. Don't do that. You're about to open a whole nother door. That's a door people don't like to go into now. They don't like to go into that. That is so, man, look. That Old Testament. Oh, that Old Testament is brutal. Kill every man, woman, and child. Kill them all and don't take nothing. I'm just saying. I am a jealous God. Just saying. I just go and read this stuff. Go read it for yourself. Come to your own conclusion. I'm just saying. That's all I ever tell anybody to do. Wait a minute. Okay, what you got here in Mississippi? Let me see. You said, for an example, I'm in southwestern Mississippi. Let me see. There I had only been limited to the OES. I am in the cryptid council from the minister's sermon, and as a Sir Knight, I also have Templar cryptid. Okay. You from Mississippi? What part? I know you said southwestern Mississippi, but to say that, what county? Mississippi has 89 counties. Give me a county. You know, Madison County, which consists of Jackson, Pearl, Vicksburg, Yazoo, Canton, Glustack. Is there another county? Yeah, give me a county. Yes. Okay, I got you now, Brian. Yes, I asked you because Saturn wish. Yep, you're right. Correct. Yes. In regards to Satan or Lucifer creating the physical realm. There is a reason why Babylon is called a harlot. Ooh-wee. They got their independence from the Grand Lodge of Persia due to good relationships with Frank Font, with the primary Grand Lodge of England, and became a mother lodge. Really? That I didn't know, Victor Williams. Thank you for sharing. That I did not know. Are illuminated. Huh. Okay. Biloxi, all right. God said, put a man before me. And then the Bible said, God lives within me. So that means work on self, look to self, love self. We are responsible for our own realities. Dreadlock conversation. You know that just went woo right over somebody's head, right? You know that just went way left. They went woof. It went way left. Georgia has 159 counties. Damn. Divine femininity and darkness. Okay, my thoughts on divine femininity is that it brings forth a whole nother perspective in the woman. When you say divine femininity, that is the essence of a woman and what she does in the relationship to the men, because it is divine. She is that which brings forth life. Although the man sends his sperm into that woman, and it interjects into that seed of a woman, and therefore that which was dark is now sparking to light. So we all do know that when that sperm hits that egg, it is a light that takes place. It is a that which is done in darkness begins to develop. See, you must realize, and I've said this before, everything that is done in darkness comes to light. And most of us don't understand why they say that. You think it's some evil thing that a person does that'll come to light. It's bigger than that. You know, if you want to know where gold is at, it's hidden in the ground. You got to dig for gold. You got to dig for oil. You got to dig for the black coal. You got to dig for diamonds. You got to go beneath the ocean to get the pearls. So everything that is in darkness will come to light because that's where it starts at. That is the beginning of the nourishment. That's why when it speaks of the mustard seed in the Bible and how small it is, you got to realize that when you plant that mustard seed, as it begins to grow in the darkness of the earth, that when it brings forth the mustard seed flower and the mustard seed loaf and the mustard seed tree, and how much that little seed and what comes from that little seed can really do a whole lot of good for a whole lot of people. So when the parable of the mustard seed is taught, if you have just a little faith like a mustard seed, so much can come out of that. And it all begins when you plant it. It all begins when you nourish it and water it. So, boom, that's a whole nother thing. The Swedish rites use the rites of strict observation. I've heard of that. So the rites of strict observation isn't the way it was in the beginning, but in much was done in the York rite as well. Yeah, I'm familiar with strict observation. Man, you wouldn't believe that there are more women Masons than anything else outside of the United States. There are some, I just learned a couple of weeks ago, that there are some OES grand chapters outside of the United States, but there are female Masons all over the world now. They've always been there. They're just deciding to step out of the shadows because it has been long said that a female couldn't be Mason. But that's a lie because they was there in the beginning. Let's just be honest with that. No, darkness does not represent Satan's character. In the beginning, it was darkness. Period. Think on it for a minute. Just think on that just for a minute. Just saying. Question 2 is the night evil. No. Mm-mm. True men started a company of masonry. He said, which is better, the Old Testament and the New Testament? Play some basketball. I am created in God's image. Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. Everybody presses the like button. If you ask to be a Freemason, then the older or a past grand patron apron that matches your OES order and manage the purple and gold, my opinion. Okay. Your brother Johnson. Yep. I agree with that. I have a couple of patron aprons. Absolutely. That purple? Yeah. Yeah. Mona Lisa. Do I believe in obeying the Bible? Are you talking about the 17 I want to say 1612 Bible, or the one that we're using today, or the new IV? Which Bible are you referring to when you say that? I'm just asking because of the many different versions that we have of the Bible. That's the only reason I'm asking. I'm not asking to be funny or anything. No, I'm asking because of the many versions of the Bible that are out there. Oh, they're for the trolls in the chat. Okay, okay, okay. Gotcha. I appreciate it. Yep. Let me see. The Bible said, "Don't add or take away from the word." Well, y'all got me going tonight. I was about to cut it down. No, all versions of the Bible are not the same. They are absolutely not the same. See, what we've done is language. What I say in Spanish may mean something different in Latin, or maybe something different in English. And we try to find the closest word in English that means the same. But you can't necessarily do it. You can't do it because of the language. Plain and simple. I don't know why none of the three books are yeah, I do. My personal opinion, humbly submitted, is that the reason you don't have a lot of these books in the Bible is because of the Council of Nicaea. See, the Council of Nicaea, which was called about, decided what books would go into this Bible. They made that decision. Man made the decision on what books would go into the Bible and how it would be written. Men made that decision. Absolutely, we did as men. I wasn't there. I'm just saying the Council of Nicaea made the decision on what would be in the Bible. They did that. Yeah, who owns the copyrights to the Bible? That's a good one. That's a good one. Yep, absolutely. Where did it derive from? Oh, King James Version of the Bible has a copyright. Open it up. What are you saying is mean? I need to call your phone. You can call me. All right. 619-286-0642. You can call right now if you want. I was gonna let go, man. I was gonna cut this off almost a half an hour ago. Books don't fall out of the sky. They all have to be printed and published. Oh man, y'all got me rolling tonight. Oh, they're scared of the truth. Man, let me tell you. Repeat that number. 619-286-0642 is the number if you're going to call me. I rebuke Freemason in the name of Jesus. Oh boy, y'all got me. Oh, this is much. This is too much. The truth is more disturbing than the lie. Oh boy. Oh man. Yes, absolutely. It is. Yes, it is San Diego. Yes, the Council of Nicaea. What is truth? That's a good question. The Holy Bible is a volume of sacred law. Man, y'all on one tonight. Like I said, you're welcome to call in. I need to make some personal calls. If you're up for my many questions, you better catch me now, man, while I am up. That is the same council that gave us the Trinity. I just had to freeze on that one. San Diego, I enjoy San Diego lodges under United Grand Lodge. Really? Victor Williams, you got to be kidding me. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Didn't know that. If you're going to call in, I'm going to give you about 2 more minutes to make that decision. Then I'm going to lock it off. I've been on here for 2:16. Hey, I have a question. I want to start a podcast, and I don't know quite how to do it. If anybody want to give me some advice, I'm open. I'm open for it, on how to start it. I may have to Google it, like you do everything else just to find out. But I'm definitely interested in starting a podcast. There are several councils. Yeah, but that council in particular, the Council of Nicaea, is the one in regards to the Bible. StreamYard, download it. I do have StreamYard. I do. Okay. I can do StreamYard and then download it to the YouTube, which is cool. But is that like the podcast? You know what I mean? The one that anybody can listen to in their car or whatever? Are you asking, have I read the entire Bible? And if so, which one are you referring to? Okay, so if you're talking about the NIV, yes. The New International Version, yes. So, okay, you won't call in. It's a late hour. What time do you be available during the daytime? Well, once this number here is not available after tonight, so you have to email me. You can email me at jgjafam@yahoo.com. You can leave me a number and I'll call you from there. All right? Phoenix 1, you really putting that information out here tonight. Seek and you'll find. Try the truth. All right. So look, I'm gonna go ahead and log off. It's 2:19. I've been on here for 2 hours and 19 minutes. I've been home for a minute. Look, I know you're probably not gonna watch this whole thing, but definitely I appreciate everybody for coming in. It was good to read some of the things and answer some of the questions. I've had a ball. Hey, check me out on TikTok. John G. Jones Research Lodge on TikTok. Go over there And that's when we can really get it in over on TikTok. So you can catch me on TikTok. Go over and check it out. John G. Zones Research Lodge on TikTok. Please do. And then if you have TikTok, definitely come up and we can get that in. I hope you can bank on what you believe. I can definitely bank on what I believe. I can do that. I can't speak for nobody else. I can't. But I can bank on what I believe. Until then, peace and be well. And remember this, I am not your study guide. I'm just here to help you study and stay out the bushes and keep your light on. I'm out. Peace and be well to everyone.